Listen, I love cooking, and I'm trying my hand at it. I'm not good as role play, but I have this hashtag.
He gets busy.
Yeah, I use this hashtag. I use called Real Men Cook.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think about just men cooking in general? Because I'm be honest with you, growing up, hold up, but growing up, you are, obviously you're a man cook, but growing up, just like it was always like, especially in the Italian family, it was like woman, like woman cook. So when I met, my lady, like I started cooking at late, but when I met my lady, I was like, I'm gonna cook for you.
That's wave. Pure wave, bro.
Like, I don't need, the thing that people live by, is like, I don't need all that shit. I'm going to live the way I want to live. You know how some people think, like, a wife is only supposed to do this, or she's only supposed to do this, and watch her kids. I'm Mr. Mom, domesticated P. I stay home most of the time.
Domesticated P? That's wave. That's a T-shirt, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. But honestly, real men cook. I mean, what do you, what do you think about that?
Well, I agree. I agree with that as well. I mean, of course I do, but I have a kind of a weird situation. I'm going to go ahead and rewind this shit back to my childhood again. My grandfather, his name is Jesse Harris. He's OG status, bro.
That name just sounds just
OG status.
That name sounds like a brand.
Yeah. Like, he had a catering company, like, back in his 60s, and he did something. I remember, like, just growing up, like, the legend of my grandfather was that he cooked for John F. Kennedy Jr. At some point in his life.
And you, I mean, we'll get into it, but you followed in by cooking for Obama.
Yeah, I mean, that's my people, you know what I'm saying?
Who, Barry?
I crip walk across the threshold of the White House these days.
Both of y'all beige brothers just up in the
Oh,
White
yeah,
House.
I mean, I wish I could wait till... Yo, that's my nigga. That's my nigga. Straight up and down.
Well, wait till Barry's out of the...
Yeah, don't talk about Barry like that right now.
All
now.
We'll get back to Barry, but
Back to talk about Grandpa.
Ask me in February. That's my nigga.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Tell us about Grandpa.
But just jokes, people. I'm just joking, okay? But that's my man. So my grandfather had a catering company, and he had a restaurant in North Philadelphia, in the fucking hood. And my mom and my uncle grew up in that house. On the ground level, my grandfather had a restaurant called Jesse's Place. His name is Jesse. And then my mom and my grandma and my uncle, they all lived upstairs. And he had that business for a number of years. And then they left Philadelphia and they moved to New York. So that's how that's how my black ass ended up here. And then my mom met my dad in college and blah, blah, blah. But I actually had, this is way off topic, but I'm going to tell a story. I had a job like a few months, like 8 months ago, not a few months. And I was in Philly, and I had a couple of hours. So I hit my mom's up. I'm like, hey, can you give me the address to the house y'all grew up in? Because I've never seen it. I've been to Philadelphia a few times, but I've never seen the house. She's like, all right. She's like, I think I'm about to change. Then she texted me the address. So I went there.
That's
and
dope.
I saw... Bro, I got fucking emotional, bro.
Yeah. I like
that. And the cops came over here like, what you doing out here?
Oh, no.
Get up against the wall.
No, because that's the fucking hood.
Right.
So they're not trying to fuck with me. They're just like, what the fuck you doing out here? Like, they know I'm not from there because I look like an alien.
Well, you're not homeless either.
Yeah, and that either. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, my parents, it's my grandfather's place. Da, da, da. And like, all right, well, be careful. There was a shootout here the night before last.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, there was 30 shell casings. We had to pick them all up right there. So just be careful. So like, all right. But yeah, North Philly, and it's one of those neighborhoods it's going to come back. But all right, there's my story.
No, but Jesse, hey, you know what?
My Uncle Jesse grew up in the house. My grandfather Jesse, that was his home, his restaurant. And he moved everything to New York, and that's how my black ass ended up here.
I love that you took a little bit of time out of your schedule and went to go reflect. I feel like I've done that too, just to go back to where I grew up, and stop by. I would bring my daughter and be like, hey, this is where I grew up. Even though my daughter was a teenager, and she was like, I don't care that.
That box was still in that corner?
No, she's going to remember, bro. She's going to remember when she gets older.